In this video, we will understand certain other features available in the part modeling in SolidWorks, which are Revolve, Loft, and Sweep. Now, these features are very essential with respect to complex modeling, which provide us with those features because they are available with us in SolidWorks. Now, this kind of features need to be used keeping in mind the understanding how they are used and where they can be applied in the complete design of a product. These features need to be understood by knowing what all is required as essential steps to create these features, and as per that, then we can use them effectively in our designs. So firstly, we will be starting with the revolve feature available in SolidWorks. So for revolve feature, we have to just understand the part that it involves an axis, a central axis around which the sketch gets revolved. So the main concern is about the creation of the sketch which is required to be created. And like other features, revolve features also has certain rules that must be kept into mind. For the first one being that we need to only draw half of the revolved profile as we can see on the screen. Now this is just a rough feature which we are creating for the sake of understanding, and the sketch should not cut to the center line at any of the section. It must not cross the center line in any ways, and in the same ways it should not be touching the center line even at a single point. So these are the basic rules using which we can just do. So once we have just created the sketch and the center line, we can just get onto the revolve through the window, and then we will get a property manager of revolve. Then we can just select the complete sketch or the contour which we need to do, and even the center line about which we have to do. Now it provides us with different options like direction 1 and direction 2. Now here we are able to get the direction 1, in which we can just provide the amount of angle which has to be subtended by the sketch across the center line, and about which the overall sketch will be created as such. And this is how the whole revolve feature works around, and that's how the thing is that we can even provide thin features for you. But now the thin features can be created because the sketch isn't a sketch which supports a thin feature. So basically that's how the overall thing can be done. And if you are now selecting a thin feature, it will be showing us an error basically, and that's why the sketch won't the revolve feature won't get created in the complete as the errors we are getting over here. So that's how is the thing that we need to provide with required kind of things, using which only we can just provide the revolve conditions. Now as we can see, here are like three end conditions of revolve. The first one being the one direction, the second direction, and even the mid plane. Now the revolve angle is like divided into equally in opposite directions. There is no kind of an equivalent for up to vertex and up to next surface, up to body, and with the revolve feature. So basically that's how it's a simple feature which needs to be understood, and using revolve features we can just do variety of applications basically related to our design modeling, and it can you help us to create half features, even full features completely, and like to convert certain kind of a sketches around an axis. It's a completely a useful task in almost every design which we are creating, and that's how it's the revolve feature which needs to be understood. And like based upon the extrude part, like creating the same thing by using extrude would have been a very difficult task, because basically we have to rotate it around an axis, and the best option which is available is the revolve feature in SolidWorks for doing such kind of activities. And that's all with the revolve feature. The next one being the loft feature of SolidWorks. Now the loft is also known as something like an interpolated feature. Now that means that we can actually create the profiles for the feature at certain points, and then the software will interpolate the shape based upon these profiles. We can like use additional controls with loft, such as like guide curves or center lines, and establish and end conditions which are helpful to like direct the shape according to which we need to just provide the complete kind of a thing for creating the loft feature into our product. Now a loft with just two profiles is like a straight line transition. Basically the software just predicts it as in the same way. Now lofts can also create like something like a boss feature, and even it can just create certain kind of a cut feature out of it, out of the profiles which we are like providing. Now for loft feature, if you are doing like as we said that it cannot be done with just one plane sketch, so we need to create certain kind of additional planes which are required. And for that, using the reference geometry, we can just create certain kind of planes. Now here we are like selecting our front plane as the reference plane, and then we are just multiplying number of planes which are like required to be made, and the number for here which we are fixing is like around 3. And like using those 3 planes, we'll be just creating different kind of sketches randomly. Like the sketches can be anything, like we will be just doing it for understanding that thing. and like the entities which we can use in the loft thing, that plays an important role. Like we can even select the faces and even closed loop 2D or 3D sketches and even the surface bodies, and this is done basically for solid lofts. Now you can use the sketch points as the profile on the end of a loft, and that comes to a point of rounded end. For surface lofts, you can use open sketches and edges in addition to the entities that are used by solid lofts. Now, some special functionality which becomes available to us is that if we put all the profiles and guide curves together in a single 3D sketch, in order to select the profiles made in this way, we must use the selection manager, which is like discussed. And using this sketch tools and the loft property manager, it helps us to enable the drag sketch entities of any profile made in the way. Now here, like we created different kind of sketches, and like as we are entering those sketch points into the loft property manager, we are able to see that the loft was predicted before, and like interpolation feature was created up to the plane 2, but then when we selected the plane 3, that thing didn't actually happen, and like it said the error was the intersection of the curve. Now this thing has to be done by varying the point. Basically, there shouldn't be any kind of intersection between the guide curve which the software generates by itself. Now we can do the same by using the guide curve by from our end also. Now this is like an automated technique which the surface does, SolidWorks does by itself. So basically this is how the loft feature just comes into action. And like for this thing, we need to also understand the fact that mainly there are different kind of end constraints which are also given to SolidWorks, given to SolidWorks to us, which can be used to like create the required kind of loft features as per our means. Now here we can even use guide curves basically. Now guide curves are like certain kind of a thing which we can just do as per our wills, and it helps us to constrain the outline of a loft between loft profiles. Although it is like best to try to achieve the shape we want to use, approximately shaped, and like place the loft profiles as per that, but this is not always possible. So the most appropriate use of guide curves for SolidWorks is at places where the loft is going to create a hard edge, which is like usually at the corners of loft profile sketches. Now guide curves often, but not always, like they break up what would otherwise be a smooth surface, and you should avoid them in these situations if possible. Apart from those conditions, the other conditions which are like the best one is the default condition, wherein the using the profiles in the sketches, the default kind of a thing generates an automatic interpolation surface or curve. And apart from that, then there is also the tangent to face like condition, which is like a self-explanatory. Now this option includes a setting for tangent length, and this is not a literal length dimension, but a relatively weighing on a scale from 0.1 to 10 dimension. And the next one being the curvature to face and the direction vector. Now difference between the tangency and curvature is that tangency is only concerned with the direction of curvature immediately. Now as we can see over here, like we have created certain kind of guide curves. Now this guide curves, out of which one of the curve doesn't have a tangency to the sketch which is created on the plane 1. So that would create an error somewhere ahead if we just provide that guide curve. Now over here also one main role which plays is the selection of the profiles out of which the interpolation is going to take place. The sequence in which they are selected also plays an important role. Now here if you have selected a certain kind of a sketch profile which will create an intersection of the curve again, so that will create an error. Now like here we are seeing over here, like we selected the plane 1, then we say the plane 2, and then selected the plane 1, and in the end it was selected the plane 3. So that is how it is showing, it shows the error for the guide curve. And like over here the error again which is showing is of the guide curve too, because it is not intersecting the sketch where it should have been. And apart from that, the sequence in which we had selected the profiles, that thing also went wrong. So that's how it's the thing using which we need to understand that the selection of the profile plays a very important role in the whole thing. So a direction vector can be set into certain kind of things, wherein it forces the loft to the tangent that you define by selecting an axis, edge or sketch entity, out of which then the complete kind of a surface has been created as per our means. Now here if we are like selecting the whole sketch profiles in the sequence as it is required, so we are able to get the required kind of a loft feature out of it. And now even here, like using 3D sketch, we have created certain kind of guide curves. Now out of which one of the guide curve, as we know, is not the proper one. So we'll be just selecting the proper sketch profiles, and after that then selecting the guide curves. And as we select the guide curves, we'll just understand that how these things are like coming into existence, and how this loft feature which we are creating on the screen comes into actual kind of a thing as per our needs. So a loft feature is very very important as per it. So apart from that, there is also like other features like centerline lofts, and even we can see the isoparameter UV lines, which are like certain kind of essential things as per our things. And using this, we can actually create the feature which we want to make. So now we will be like proceeding ahead to the sweep feature, which is like provided to us in SolidWorks. Now sweep feature is something which uses multiple sketches, and a sweep is made from a profile, a cross section, and a path, and can create a boss feature out of it, and even a cut feature if like a solid over which we have to create the sweep thing. And using this thing, if we want, we can also use guide curves. Now typical simple sweeps which are used for the purpose of making wires, tubings, or hoses in SolidWorks. Even like more complex things can be created, like objects like bottles, involutes, springs, and corkscrews. So for this thing, basically we require a basic sketch out of which we need to just provide the exact kind of a path line across which the sweep has to be created or the product has to be created. And like as we can see over here, we can just create out a sketch out of it, and like the screen is showing certain kind of a W shaped sketch which we have just made over here. Now we cannot just imagine creating an extrude feature, because that thing be like you using multiple times extrude, and that will be like time consuming and even boring at a time. So the main criteria for selecting a sweep feature is to create a feature is that it must be able to identify the cross section and the path. Now the profile which can change along the path, but the overall shape must remain the same out of it. So the profile is typically perpendicular to the path, like although this is not a requirement as such, but it needs to be almost perpendicular to the plane. So here, like if you are selecting a sketch, and like if you are going to move ahead towards creating a sketch, we need to keep in mind the sketch profile which is to be swept across the path needs to be properly made. Now as we can see on the screen, if the path, if the profile which we have created is not perpendicular, it won't be giving us the exact output as we require as such. Now even there is an option of providing sweeps with guide curves. Now sweeps that are like more complex begin to like control the size, orientation, and position of the cross section as it travels through the sweep. Now that thing completely depends upon the intensity of the depth of the design. So like over here now we are having a simple kind of a guide path which is like created by us, and like that is going to be the path for us. Now the guide curves are basically which will just be determining the outer surface of the sweep. For example, if we imagine a pipe which is having a varying cross section at different kind of points, so that cannot be done by providing just one cross section over here. Like over here, just one cross section is the rectangular which we have just created, and using that then we can just provide it as the sketch profile which is required. Now this thing is showing an error, as I had mentioned before also, because the sketch profile is not almost also perpendicular to the path which it needs to be created. So using this basically or keeping this thing in mind, we need to always keep the sketch profile in the perpendicular part of the sketch path which needs to be made. Now we can even provide sweep with guide curves, as we had mentioned earlier. And if you want to use a guide curve, there are like several analogies which can be used to visualize how the sweep works actually. And using the cross section of the profile which is solved at several intermediate positions along the path, if the guide curve does not follow the path, the difference between the two is made up by adjusting the profile. So that thing is directly done by the SolidWorks itself. Now here if we can see, we have just created randomly a profile which is like almost perpendicular to the sketch which has to be made. So using this thing into consideration, we can just do the overall mapping up of the sweep feature as an output. So over here we are just giving the options like the sketch which has to be made, and as the sketch profile, and the circular profile option is also there, wherein like we have to just provide the guide path directly, and about which we will be just seeing later in the video. Now with the sketch profile, if we are just providing the sketch profile also, there are like options wherein like we can just provide the sweep feature across one in one direction, or it can be bi-directional, or it can be across one plane. Now as we had mentioned about the guide curves also, it was given over there. Now there are also other options for like providing the profile concentration, wherein like we can just provide the follow path and even the profile twist across it, which can be provided. And then there is also an option of thin feature for what, but for that the profile needs to be that much accommodative to provide the thin feature out of it, and we can just provide the thickness out of it. Now the curvature display is also there, so that we can just see the curvature which is there, and using which we just get to see the isoparameter UV lines as we were able to see in the loft feature also. Now this provides us with the images or of the grids which are like available, and this represents the isoparameter lines, also known as the UV lines or knobs mesh. Now this mesh shows the underlying structure of the faces which is being created by the feature, and if the mesh is highly distorted in the case of like loft and all, this thing appears to overlap in places, then it is likely that the feature might fail. And the same thing goes with sweep, but mostly sweep doesn't create that much kind of errors because it's a comparatively a simple feature as compared to the other feature. So basically this is how the sweep, loft and revolve feature works in SolidWorks.